The pandemic of the new coronavirus has now reached the country with force. In this dramatic situation, Brazil is torn apart by a succession of crises in the relations among the various institutions and in the federal government itself. On the economic front, the effects of the pandemic as in the rest of the world are dramatic. In the first quarter, unemployment went from 10.9% to 12.2% with an increase of about 1.2 million unemployed. On April 23, the government presented the Pro-Brazil Plan, a sort of Marshall Plan to stimulate economic recovery in the coming years. At the moment it is only a PowerPoint document, in which investments of $55 billion are planned. On May 2, the Senate approved the transfer of $11 billion to states and cities. The approval of the Chamber of Deputies is expected for the first half of May. After the 2015 to 2016 recession, Brazilian GDP has risen very slowly over the past 3 years. The economic operators expect, on average, a drop of 3.76% of the GDP growth for 2020. The estimate seems to be still optimistic, given that already in mid-April the IMF estimated a decline of 5.3%. Several economists think that the drop in Brazilian GDP could align with that of European countries, that is, closer to -8–9%. The inflation estimates for 2020 are still down. At the beginning of the year it was forecast at 3.6% and today at 1.97%. Thanks to falling inflation and to stimulate the economy, at the beginning of May the central bank reduced the discount rate to 3%, an all-time low. Following the crisis of the new coronavirus, the dollar today reached $5.87, a new historical high. The Brazilian currency is the one that, in 2020, was most devalued in the world compared to the dollar, -36%. Several analysts do not dismiss the hypothesis of a further devaluation in the coming weeks. The Brazilian stock market showed a good recovery in April, with a performance of plus 10.3% in nominal terms. Considering the devaluation of the real, however, in dollars this growth has halved. Since the beginning of the crisis, the Bovespa index has lost 29% in local value and 43% in dollars. The obvious suggestion is that of maximum caution regarding new investments and shares of the Brazilian Stock Exchange. However, the Brazilian assets, even the real estate ones, are still very cheap and excellent deals can be made.